Hello, hey, hi, welcome back to another video. Today, I'm doing another in 1 week challenge, although this won't be a how many in 1 week, and instead it's gonna be a can I do it in 1 week. I'm making a sweater. I have a classmate who asked me to make them a sweater, and I said yes, and so that is on my list. I have about a week. Today it is Saturday, and I have until Sunday to finish, like the next Sunday. Obviously, I'm not going to give myself a day to finish a sweater. That's a little insane. So, we are making a sweater. I am using Premier Puzzle. This is the color Crossword, I think. It has a bunch of beige and browns, and I thought was just a good neutral color to use. I have 3 skeins of this, so I am pretty sure this is going to be plenty. This is a bulky 5, and it recommends a 6mm crochet hook, which is perfect because that's what I grabbed. And I am doing a granny stitch like sweater. He didn't give me a lot of things to go off of. I asked him what kind of color, I asked him what kind of sweater he wanted, and he said whatever I want to make. So I saw this and I was like, this is soft and I have quite a lot of it, so this will be great. And then also I really like the granny stitch, so I want to make a sweater. I first have to, the pattern I'm using uses 3 yarns, so this is like almost double because this is a 5. So instead of making the medium, I might have to make the extra small size, but I'm gonna have to make a swatch first just to see how big my tension is and whether or not the extra small is actually going to fit. I'm also gonna watch a YouTube video because I think I know what I'm doing, but I'm not exactly sure. For me, I typically just kind of wing it, and I'll know if it fits me because I can try it on and I know what fits me, whereas now I'm making it for someone else, so I want to make sure it fits them. I have a few measurements that the pattern calls for. Obviously, though, it's within that gauge, so I'm going to have to do some quick maths and make sure that this will fit. So that's what I'm going to start with now. Quick gauge swatch, see what size I need to make, and then we'll get started. I think I got it. It took me a little bit of time to figure out how to change the gauge. Typically, I'll just like use another size needle until I make it, or I'll just kind of fudge it, but I don't want to do that since it's for someone else. Plus, also I'm using a lot bigger yarn, so I can't just change my hook size. So I made my swatch. Their gauge is 5 granny clusters for 4 inches and 11 rows for 4 inches. I'm at 4 clusters and 6 rows for 4 inches, so quite a bit larger than theirs, which is to be expected. So I did a bunch of Googling around to try to see if I could figure out how to change my gauge and which size to make accordingly. So taking my 4 clusters for 4 inches and dividing it by their 5 per 4 inches gives me like 0.8. Multiplying that by the size that I want, where the width, because this is in garment width, would be around 20 inches, gave me 16. So their extra small is 16.5. My 20 inches already has, I think, 2 inches of negative ease in there, maybe a little bit more. So the 16 is going to be perfectly fine. That is the extra small. That was the one that my gut was telling me to do anyways, but this just means that I will be much better. As for the rows, I'm not as concerned about that, just because like whenever it comes to sleeve length and like body length, I can just stop whenever it gets to the length of the measurements that I have. So now that I know what size I'm making, I can actually get started. Now we start with the ribbing along the collar, and then we work in a raglan style from there, which is great. I love raglans. They're easy for me. Now I know what size. We are going to start crocheting our actual sweater. It is several hours later. It's about 5 o'clock. I have completed my yoke. It's a little funky looking right now, obviously because it's just the yoke. This is what it looks like on. It's a bigger size than what I am. Like, this is going to be too big for me. However, I think it'll be good for the person it is for. I think this is good. I'm liking the color so far. I do wish there was a little bit less of this like brown and white color and a little bit more of kind of white and kind of the beige yellowy brown color. But overall I think it's good neutrals and I think they will enjoy it. I was also a little bit worried about the granny stitch and being a little too holy. However, I've looked at it a little bit. I've taken pictures of it like on like this and I don't think it's too holy. Definitely might want something underneath, but I think most guys wear a shirt underneath anyways, so I don't think that's going to be too big of a problem. So yeah, now I am on the row where we connect our yoke sleeves together, and then we will work on the body just straight down without using all of this. I am getting pretty far along. This is my first skein, so I feel like I'll definitely have enough. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep working. I do have plans tonight, hopefully. It's been snowing all day, but it looks like it might have calmed down. So I'm gonna keep working on this for a little bit longer, see how far I can work on the body, and I'll check back in before I end for the night. This feels good. This feels good and loose. I'm a little bit afraid that this might be a little too tight though. I did have to do, I think it was 2 less clusters on the arms just because of the stitch pattern, and I didn't realize that whenever I first started this. So yeah, these are a little bit tight. So how do I make these bigger while keeping this the same? Because like if I do the chain that like a lot of people do, I personally don't like the chain. I find it's too bulky here, but if I do the chain, then it's going to also add it to the body, which I don't want. If I take back like, because I did a double crochet right until the corner, if I take one back, if I add a chain for whenever I do the arms, but then whenever I go to do the second round of this, I just completely skip the chain. That way the chain is only for the arms. And I'd only do like a chain of 3, you know, so it's just that little bit, just enough to get 1 extra cluster. That way it's proportional to the front. I think that would be good. And then it's a little bit more room here, but it's the same on the chest. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to see how it looks, make sure it's not going to look too funky, but I think that's going to be my best bet. This is our progress so far. I didn't do too many rows. I did 3. But I think it's pretty fine. It's the exact same number of stitches that it was before. I just added just a little extra bit here, but it's the same number of stitches. That way, whenever I go to do the arm sleeve, I can add 1 extra so that it's not so bad. If it was for me, it would have been fine. However, because this is a medium size, it's larger than what I would wear. I think it would be uncomfortable for them. Like, for me, it would have been fine, but because it's a larger size, I think it would have been uncomfortable. Oh yeah, no, there's so much more room. I think that's a lot better. I think that was a good choice. But yeah, we're making progress. It's going to be quite a bit longer. I am definitely going to need to use up the rest of this skein, although there's not that much left. But yeah, I'm going to have to at least double the length, probably even a little bit more before this is like the length it should be. I have like the measurements and everything, so that's fine. But yeah, actually this is pretty good. It's definitely going to need a good steam before I hand it off, just so that, you know, it gets all loosey-goose and feels actually like nice and comfortable to wear. This is also 100% acrylic, so they don't have to worry about like special washing instructions. I think, you know, like wool stuff is nice, but also not everyone wants to sign up for that. So I thought this was nice and warm with the nice bulky 5 and the nice loosely woundness of this yarn, but then also the convenience of acrylic. So anyway, I'm really happy with the progress so far, but I have to go get ready. Hi, it's Monday afternoon. It's about 3 p.m. I got a lot of work done actually yesterday. Today, not so much. I've been doing a lot of things around the house. I deep cleaned the kitchen, things like that. So I've done 2 rows. I've done 2 rows today, and they're sleeves. So yesterday, I finished most of the body. I still have to complete the ribbing. I just ran out of yarn on my second skein. So I'm now on my 3rd and final skein. I might have to go out and get more. I'm not sure. It's going to be cutting it close because I still have both sleeves to do, and also finishing the ribbing on both the neck and the bottom, and obviously on the sleeves, but that's part of the sleeves. So I've done, yeah, these 2 rows on the sleeves today. So I obviously haven't done much crocheting today. I'm feeling actually pretty good with our progress so far because I started, on Saturday? So like 2 days? Is that right? Did I start on Saturday? Yeah, I started on Saturday. So like 2 days and I did the whole body? That's pretty good. I'm impressed with myself. I did try it on. Obviously it is too large for me, but I was worried that the holes were too big because it's, you know, the granny stitch. I don't think so. And I also tried it on and looked in the mirror and I was like, dang, like this looks so good. Like the neutral tones, especially from far away, they just kind of mix together while also giving you that like variation in hue. It's like, it's nice. It's not like hand-dyed yarn, but you know how like hand-dyed yarn has like that slight variation in color, so it gives you like some interest to look at without being so overbearing with all different colors and stuff. I think that's kind of the vibe. Obviously it's not hand-dyed, but similar thing where it's like lots of neutrals that go well together that are very cohesive, but then also like variations within it. But yeah, I think it's coming out really good. I would like to see if I can get one sleeve mostly done today, if not completely done today. I am going to the store, so I have 2 hours before I have to go to the store, which would also be the time where I would pick up another one. So if in these 2 hours I can figure out whether or not I'll need another one, if I do, it probably won't be very much, because the sleeves are just under half of the body. So like there's like 18 clusters here, and there was like 42 here, so it's like I think 8 more clusters. But I don't know if that's going to be enough. Like, I don't think that's going to be enough yarn, but also it's like I switched my skein like here, so it's like a good amount of room. I don't know, I'm not sure. It's going to be cutting it close if I do have enough. So I'm going to get to crocheting so that I will know before I have to go to the store. And once I know, I'll let you know. It is Wednesday morning. I have update on sweater. Body, done. Ribbing, done. First sleeve, done. And ribbing on first sleeve, done. I still have to do the neckline ribbing and the second sleeve, but this was what I got done with the third skein. I typically do like a single crochet back loop only ribbing, but I did the front post back post double crochet ribbing. I think it looks fine. I'm not typically one to like this look, but I think with what's happening with the yarn with the like double colored strand, I think this just is a nice transition and it looks nice. And I also decreased the sleeve. I did like a decrease every 6 rows, and I think it came out very nice. It's definitely weird with the sleeve because the body was so wide that like not all the colors made one full round, whereas this, like, some colors made it 1 round or more, some made it like several rounds. But I don't think it's too noticeable. I think it blends in just fine. I am happy with how it's looking so far. I did 3 rows of the ribbing on the bottom and 2 on the sleeve. I just didn't want the sleeve to be like massive. But I still have the ribbing on the neckline and then the second whole sleeve to complete. This was all I had left of our third ball, so I have our fourth right here, and this should be plenty to finish out the second sleeve and the ribbing along the neck. There's no doubt in my mind. So yeah, feeling very good about this. I'm probably not going to be able to crochet a ton today. I wasn't able to crochet a ton yesterday either. This is mostly Sunday, Monday work, which is pretty good. Like Monday I did most of the body, and then, no, Sunday I did most of the body. Monday I did like the whole sleeve. So like for getting it done in a week, pretty good. It'll actually give me a little extra time to like steam it and make sure that it's nice and dry before I give it to them. So that will be very nice and helpful. But for now, I have some other things to do, and they might not be crochet, but you will see if they are. It's been a few days. It's now Saturday at 7 o'clock p.m. But I have both sleeves done. None of my ends are woven in, but, you know, I'll do that later. The last part I have to do is the collar here. I think it's looking really good. I'm happy with how the like colors have pooled a lot. And I think I'm going to have plenty of time to finish up this collar like right now, and then it'll be done tonight. I can steam it tomorrow. It'll be all ready on Monday for me to send it off and get it out of here and be done with it. So that's really exciting. I think, because I still have a good amount left on my 4th skein, and this color I feel like matches the collar pretty well, this like little extra ball, and I think this should be like plenty or like just enough to do the like 2 rounds of the collar really quick. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with how it's turning out so far. I'm gonna also really quickly just double check all of my measurements, make sure it's good before I start, you know, finishing up the final details and everything. So yeah, I'm gonna go quickly do that, and we should be done today. I have a completed sweater. It is done. I'm gonna put it on. Just keep in mind, it is like too big for me. I don't know, can you see? Get my chair out of here. I didn't weave in my ends, so sorry. But I think it looks pretty good. I think it's a good length. Obviously, for a size bigger than me, seems pretty good. It's definitely gonna need a good block. Get my chair back in here. It's definitely gonna need a good block. It is still very crunchy, but I can do that tomorrow, and then it'll be dry for Monday whenever we are back in school and I can actually give it to him. But yeah, I think this is good for having very minimal direction. Pretty happy. This is my yarn left over. I don't know what I want to make with it. I'm thinking a headband or like an ear warmer. I think that's like the perfect amount of yarn for an ear warmer, I'm hoping. Yeah, super happy with this. Weaving in my ends probably tomorrow after it's nice and steamed. Get some of that flowiness into it. It is very warm. I can say that right now. I've just put this on and I can already feel the warmth and like I'm about to start sweating. So that's great. I think the sleeve decrease is nice and gradual. Maybe I could have done a little bit harsher of a decrease. I don't know if that's like not going to be a problem for him though, because like he probably has larger wrists and longer arms than me, so it's probably going to sit like that and then his wrists will be I think it's going to be fine. If not, I can say like I'll take it back and I can do some adjustments as needed if needed, but I don't think so. I think this is really, really nice. So yeah, did I knit or crochet a sweater in a week? Yes, in fact I did it in less than a week because I actually didn't do anything pretty much Wednesday or Thursday. So what's that, like 4 days that I actually like worked on this and I got an entire sweater done. That's pretty good for me. Although to be fair, I also didn't have literally anything else to do since school was done. So I had some other things to do, you know. I still feel pretty good. Let me know if you like this series of me trying to get things done in a week. I have a bunch more ideas, but I'll need your opinion on if you want to see those. I have a bunch of ideas for things that I want to do this year. If you want to know what those are, I did post a video last week on my 2026 plans, so go ahead and watch that. I'll put the card whichever corner this is, and see kind of my ideas for the next year, projects that I want to make, plans for this channel, all of those lovely things. Make sure you go check that out. As always, my store is linked down below if you want to go see what I have in store. Probably the ear warmer that's left with this. Feel free to check that out if you so wish. Anyway, that's all I have for this video, so make sure you like it if you liked it. Subscribe so that you don't miss my next upload, and check out some of my other videos that I have here. I think they're pretty cool, and stick around for the next one. And so yeah, I'll see you next week.